I wanted to come to the At&T classroom because I use a lot of technology in my room with my kids now, but I think it really makes a difference when they have the technology available for them to use individually, and At&T gave us an opportunity to do that, and they had a wonderful time with it, and I think it really helped them learn.
Being at At&T, everything was right there, and if you thought of something spur of the moment, you could jump right into it. So it was wonderful just to have the smart board. Of course, every child had a laptop. We had the document camera right there and the computer with the large screen. So it really helped me, I think, in just terms of being creative, and you know, if a child would bring something up, all right, let's try that out.
I think the biggest tool for me while I was at the At&T classroom was being able to walk next door and watch the video cameras and see what every group was doing, what every individual student was doing, without them knowing that I was there, without me being right behind them.
And you could hear them too.
You could.
So you could see on-task behavior and
you could
evidence of thinking.
Yes, you could monitor everything that they were doing, and if they were not on task, it was easy to redirect them because you were able to go right over it. And you know, a lot of times in a classroom, you're only working with one student at a time, and here it was much easier to be able to see the whole class at once and just be able to do a quick check and see who's doing what. So I think that was really great, a really good learning tool for me.
And I think the greatest tool for me in my teaching was the wolf vision. Just having the ability to be moving around the room and working with students, and a child saying, "Oh, Mrs. Frank, I just found this," and saying, "Okay, look at what this child found. Everybody, let's look up at the screen." And even if we had the smart board on, we were able to have that information up and look at the new information and kind of put those together.
It didn't distract from what you were doing before, definitely.
And just having the ceiling document camera there too, because again, if someone came up with something fantastic, just hit the button, and there it was, and we could all see it.
I love that little control panel right by the computer because it's so easy to just flip back and forth, and the kids loved it too. As soon as they would hear that screen come down, they would flip around and, oh, what are we doing now? So I think that was great.
And what about in terms of tools for the kids?
For them, I think definitely the iPods and the iPads were a very cool tool because it's something that a few families have in Franklin, but not everyone. So for them all to be able to have that, I think they had a ball with it. And I know we only had one day where we took the iPads out, and they got to research on that when they were doing their group work, and they had so much fun with it. So then it became kind of an incentive that, you know, if you get this part done, go grab an iPad and you can research on that, and they really enjoyed that. We made extra normals, which they're kind of like comic strips, but it was a language arts response, which had we been back at Franklin, we probably would have just written it down on paper and maybe shared in groups like that. But here we were able to actually make comic strips online, and the kids could share them with each other and upload them to blogs, and they had so much fun because everything was animated and they were in charge of their characters down to what they wore, what they looked like, and everything that they said. So I think that was a really great experience for them. I think our kids really enjoyed the time that we spent at At&T. I think it made a huge difference to them to have all of the technology readily available, and they didn't want to leave. I know my kids were upset that it was only 3 weeks long, and they were especially upset they had to get their iPads back, or iPods. They wanted to keep those for forever, but unfortunately we couldn't have that. So yeah, but they had a blast, and I would definitely enjoy taking another class back to At&T.